What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time with me tonight. Tonight, I wanted to talk to you about vice. Do you know what vice is? What a vice is? Vice is defined as an immoral thought pattern or behavior pattern. An immoral habit. A vice is also defined as a tool, like vice grips, a tool that is used to hold on to something very tightly to keep it in place while you are working on it, right? A vice is something you could say that you're attached to, that you've become dependent on in some way, shape, or form. One of the easiest categories to examine vice would be addiction, like drug addiction, gambling addictions, pornography addictions. All of these are great examples of vice, but there are many different kinds of vice. Some that are much more subtle, but at the same time, very pronounced, like anger or hate, jealousy, envy, laziness, right? All of these and many, many more could be considered vice. Vice is something that leaves you scratching your head like, why did I do that? Why do I keep doing this? Something like this. It's almost like you are so attached to this, or this thing is so attached to you that you just can't get away from it. You just can't stop doing it. A lot of us do things every day unconsciously that hold us back. But a lot of us also do things every day that we know we shouldn't do. We are consciously aware of the fact we should not be doing this thing, but we will do it anyway. Why? Because it brings some sort of momentary, immediate gratification. Right? It is a learned behavior sometimes. Vice could be described like a curse, and this curse could be generational, like in the example of someone with a drug addiction. It's possible that they are genetically prone to addiction because of, maybe their parents or grandparents at some level in their family tree. There were some addicts, there were some alcoholics, and this was passed down genetically. This genetic disposition to have a very addictive personality could be passed down to someone. This could be called like a generational curse. But all vices are able to be overcome. All vices, in fact, were made to overcome them, right? You could think of vice as this demon. It's the demon that's always tempting you, always trying to trick you into doing what you know you shouldn't do, to throw you off of your path, right? Those old cartoons with the angel and the devil on the shoulder. Vice is like the devil. Virtue is like the angel, right? One will be awarded the victory after every choice that you make, right? Actually, in certain Muslim traditions, they believe that every single person was assigned a personal devil called a consort, and it's an extremely important character. Without vice, there would be no virtue, and without virtue, there would be no vice, you see. When a person overcomes their vice, when a person exercises those demons, right? It doesn't mean that you pluck out these bad characteristics and put them in the trash can, right? And get rid of them. No, you're transforming that was called negative into something positive. So a person that has a very addictive personality that in the past indulged heavily in drugs or alcohol or something like this, and substance abuse, once they overcome that, all of that energy that they had, that they were putting into that addiction, they will be able to motivate it in a different direction and will exceed even the highest expectations in whatever field or whatever that they try to go into, right? Because this is how they are, right? Um, Out of vice arises virtue, right? You exorcise this demon. Before, this demon was like the antagonist. It was like the vice had the leash on you and was just dragging you around, making decisions for you. But once you overcome that vice, it's like the tables have turned, right? Now you are the master of this vice. You are the master of this demon, this spiritual energy that you have that has been being wasted by putting your attention into all of these other things called vice, right? You see, it's just like this. Curses, if you ever felt like you were cursed, any curse can be transmutated into a blessing. In fact, a lot of blessings come to us in disguise, right? A blessing in disguise. This could be a blessing, but it feels like a curse. It could be a gift, a great, great gift. But you treat it like a curse when you don't understand it. You see? In circles of magical thought, in order to undergo this process of transmutation, you will need something called the Philosopher's Stone, right? Um, but really, this, how it worked for me was like I had lived my life all the way up until like 23, and it was a mess, right? I just couldn't get right. I was on drugs and stuff like this, and I painted myself into a corner. A lot of traumatic experiences as a child. I couldn't understand why me, right? And then one day it all clicked and it all made sense. And I like saw God face to face or something. And then it all made sense. I saw none of this actually was bad. All of this was exactly what needed to happen to get me exactly where I'm at here and now, today, in this moment, experiencing something beyond normal, something paranormal, something spiritual, right? And it all made sense for me to be able to witness my life from this perspective is a miracle, right? And all I really want to do with this video is to spark some thoughts in your mind, make you think of something in a different way, food for thought, something to chew on. Until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.